Alright, so should you buy a Windows laptop like a HP, Dell, Asus, MSI and other brands, or should you buy the Apple MacBook from Apple? Now, I've done a video like this some weeks ago. A lot of you said I didn't go into much details, so that's why I'm remaking this video to expatiate a little bit further. Now, the first thing you will notice has to be the operating systems. Windows laptops are running on the Microsoft Windows operating systems, while Apple laptops are running on the Macintosh operating systems from Apple. So if you're somebody that has been using Windows laptops all through your life and then you eventually decide to switch to a MacBook, you might begin to experience some cultural shock. Number one has to be the difference in the way the operating systems function. Now, the Windows operating system is very flexible. It can be modified. You can sideload apps. You can do this, you can do that. And think of the Windows operating systems like the Android operating system that runs on Android phones. Then the Macintosh operating system is not so flexible. While you can still sideload apps and do a couple of things, it is very restrictive. So you might not have the liberty to do a lot of the things you are doing on your Windows laptops once you switch to a MacBook. So think of the Macintosh operating system like the iOS operating systems that run on the iPhones. Then the second thing has to be the prices. Apple laptops are very expensive. Now, this is because Apple doesn't make mid-range laptops. Apple doesn't make budget laptops. Apple only makes flagship laptops, just like they only make flagship phones. So even if you see, let's say, a 7-year-old MacBook or an 8-year-old MacBook right now in Nigeria where I live, you'll still be buying it for around 300 to 400,000 naira. Whereas on the Windows side of things, there are many options. You can literally carry 100,000 naira or carry $200 in your pocket, and you can pick a reasonable Windows laptop to use. So if you wanted to leave Windows and buy an Apple laptop, you have to keep a lot of money. Now, I want to clear a misconception here. A lot of you keep saying that Apple laptops are more expensive than Windows laptops. That is not true. Now, if you see a Windows laptop that has the same spec as an Apple laptop or as an Apple MacBook, the Windows laptops are usually more expensive. Take for instance the Apple MacBook M1 Pro. That laptop is selling for about 1.2 or 1.3 million naira right now. If you see a Windows laptop with the same spec, it's selling for about 1.6 or 1.7 million. So the only reason why some of you are thinking that Apple laptops are more expensive than Windows laptops is because a lot of the Windows laptops that you guys see are budget Windows laptops. They are not the flagship Windows laptops. Then another thing you need to really understand about switching from a Windows laptop to a MacBook is that MacBooks are mostly geared towards creatives, right? Because of the high performance capabilities of these computers, because they are built with the best material, the best of this and that and that, a lot of us that do heavy graphics work or heavy video graphics work tend to gravitate towards these MacBooks because number one, they are price friendly. Number two, the performance is very good for the price that we are paying for them. And then it seems like a lot of software developers find it easier to optimize their softwares for MacBooks. That is why if you go to a lot of places that are work-centered, when I mean work-centered, like studios, clubs, you're going to find out that a lot of them, they use MacBooks. So personally, I'm a keyboard player. I only use MacBooks to run my virtual instruments when I'm on stage. Now, if I use a Windows computer to actually do that, it gives me a lot of problems, driver problems, latency, and all of that. And these are problems that we almost never get with MacBooks. So if you're an architect, you are a musician, you are a graphics designer, you are a lot of these things, MacBook will just be the best for you. Now let me address this. In the former video, I saw a lot of comments. Some of you were saying that you can actually install Windows on a Mac. This is actually very true, but it's for older Macs. The new MacBooks, you can't install Windows on them anymore because they don't have boot camp. And besides, if you install Windows on a MacBook, it doesn't function as optimal as when you install Windows on a normal Windows machine.